Spiritual Hub Energy, Joy on You. We are going to go ahead and talk about the May 15th through the May 16th full total lunar blood moon eclipse, which is also a super moon. Okay? This will be happening between Sunday and Monday. And it will last about 1 hour and 25 minutes around sunset time. Okay, so this is happening in this is happening in the sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a, it's a water sign. So it's very much has to do with emotions, very much has to do with mystery, mystics, life, death, birth, rebirth, transformation, evolution, all of these things. So there will be a reddish orange tone to the moon, which is why it's going to be called the blood moon. Okay, so a lot of people around this time are calling this the time of no turning back, because of how the planetary alignments are happening. We're seeing a lot of planets being interacting. We have Saturn, we have Earth, Moon, Sun, Saturn, Mars, Chiron, Venus, Neptune, all working together at this time, bringing in a lot of planetary influence. And we'll talk about what each one of those are and what that's going to be, and what that's going to be bringing. So, what happens is, how you get a total lunar eclipse is whenever the Earth gets between the Sun and the Moon. Now, between 870,000 miles and 1.4 million kilometers long is going to be the shadow that's casted. Now, what we're going to talk about is the physical, metaphysical. That was the physical. Now we're going to talk about the metaphysical. Now, what this means in transformation is it's a war, right? Because you have the sun, which is the way that we see things, which is somewhat egotistical, warring with the moon, which is the way we feel, right? Which is the way that we feel. And then you have Earth, which is perfectly in between that. Now, the thing about this is it would seem as though the sun is winning a little bit on this war, because it's going to not only, have its aspects, but it's also going to be casting a very large shadow. And that shadow will be like changing the perception of how we chose to and choose to in the future see different situations. So what this shadow does is it prevents direct sunlight on the lunar surface, which is on the moon's surface, okay? And that's what causes that reddish orange hue. So this is the time of transformation, of breakthrough, of acceleration, of exploring, of understanding, of knowing, not just thinking, not just doing, not just acting, but of knowing what to do, knowing how to do, knowing when to do, knowing where. So it's that understanding. Because we know that Scorpio has to do with the emotions, we understand that full moons also have to do with, water. So the moon affects the Earth's waters, which is why there's usually like a high tide and, a higher tide on moon times, and a lot of transitions that go on around that time. So, this is also a time of the mystical. So a lot of mysteries, right? Because that's happened in the moon. So there's a lot of mysteries that are bringing, a spiritual concept, but then there's also illumination. So bringing clarity what we have had hidden, and bringing understanding to the things that we have not understood, to kind of give us a better understanding. You know, once you understand something, you can't like understand it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can train your brain, but I'm saying, like, once you understood like what, and you know, the alphabet is, yes, you can learn another alphabet, but you always know, oh, okay, so when you put C and A and B together, you get cab. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that no matter how you understand in any language, it's still going to spell cab. You know what I mean? So you can interpret it a bunch of different ways, but it's still going to be the same thing. And once you understand it, it's not to be misunderstood, you know. And that's the kind of revelations we're going to be having at this time, which is, okay, so once we didn't understand and we thought it was, you know, more of a mystery, these things are, you know, these things are being played into with great study, right? Like, the universe is just putting a magnifying glass to that which was in small print, so we can really see things in both perspective. Like, oh, that's what's been going on. Okay, no problem. Now we know how to fix things. Now we know how to move forward. And that's kind of why you can't turn back, is because you're like, oh, once you know this thing, it kind of changes the way you think, the way that you act, and the way that you feel about certain situations, people, places, and things. So that's something that you can expect as well. Now, we know that the sun is going to have a very big effect, as well as the moon, because the moon will be about 7% bigger. Okay, even though that won't be seen with the naked eye, planetarily wise, it is understood. So this will also be a nudge towards destiny, you know, kind of pushing you towards the highest, best pathway, you know, pushing you towards your greatest evolution, you know, to live your best life, to have your best longevity, to, you know, support your goals, to support your missions. And then, so Venus, which is the way that we love, the way that we see love, and the way that we feel love, is going to be connecting with Chiron. Okay, and Chiron is our traumas, you know, and how we heal. Okay, so Venus is connecting with how we heal our wounds. So, you know, giving more love, more kind, caring, compassionate energy to the things that we had insecurities about, the things we were angry, depressed, mad, or just plain tired of. You know what I mean? And giving that understanding, giving that support and that compassion to that area. Meanwhile, Mars, which is the way that we war, the way that we fight our battles, is going to be connecting with Neptune, within Pisces energy. So really connecting with the intuition and the wisdom and love. So using strategy to conquer our battles, using love to conquer our battles. And as we know, love never fails. Okay, so thank God. And then also Saturn, which is, you know, our structures and our disciplines, the way that we, you know, the way that we logically order things in order to work out, okay, is going to be squaring our lunar nodes, which is, okay, so if we're in Scorpio, right, then the opposite of Scorpio is going to be Taurin. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of calls for us to make tough choices. You know, once we have that clarity, and once we understand those mysteries and those different things, and once we feel those different things, it's going to challenge us to trust the process, to face, sorry you guys, it just kind of was being funny. But yeah, so sudden and undeniable clarity, which is, you know, it's what that is. And again, the understanding of this is the sun, being how we see things, is casting shadow upon our egos, changing the way that we act, the way that we think, and the way that we feel, thus for changing our, personalities, thus for changing our, personal realities. So everything's going to be changing on a internal, external, physical, metaphysical, emotional, energetic standpoint. It's going to be changing in all areas. So it's going to be a time of cleansing, and it's going to be a time of, releasing that which is old and outdated, and integrating and adapting and flowing with that which is new and integrating. You know what I mean? Which is new and approaching, which is new and here, which is new and understanding. So all of these things are going to be happening at this time. And you guys, I definitely hope that you go to www.shejoy.biz. Again, that is www.shejoy.biz, so that you can not only have a network and have people who support you and understand you and can help you with these changes and transitions, both getting counseling, manifesting, whether that's just being a part of the She Joy network, whether that's actually booking sessions of readings, of classes, different things that you guys can get, life mentoring, because maybe that'll be, a revelation that some of you will have, is that, hey, I do need counseling, or hey, I would really benefit from a life coach who has experience with emotional upheavals and who knows how to battle these things that are new and coming in. Some people dealt with those traumas early on in life, so they have an understanding more so, and those specific people are now, the life coaches and things like that, because they've already been through their hardships, whereas some people, they're not getting their hardships until the middle of their life, their midlife crisis, or they're not going to have their experiences until, later on in life. And then when they get them, they're just like, oh my God, like I've never had to deal with struggle. What is this? And then it's like, oh, well, hello, we've been dealing with this for a while now. Like, this is how you deal with that. So, with caring, kind, compassionate, humble energy, I would love to work with you guys, talk with you guys, and move forward with you guys. But yes, this has been the information. I hope that this has helped you. Stay blessed and never stressed, with much peace, much power, much love, and of course, much joy. See you guys next time.